Recording in progress.
Welcome to our practice today. We're going to focus on expansion in all directions. If you'd like to start with finding true north and turning your body slightly to face in that direction. If that's possible for you, it's not necessary, but sometimes it's good to orient ourselves in space. And come to a comfortable seated position. Let your physical body settle in. This is your yoga, your time. So honor what your body needs today and make any adjustments as needed. I'll invite the bell. Let your breath flow naturally through your physical form. And notice the boundaries of your body. Where you believe your body starts and ends. Breathe into all the spaces in between. We'll start our practice today with a mudra. And if you'd like, you can bring your pointer finger to your thumb on each hand. This is Jnana Mudra, a mudra of wisdom. And we're going to expand on this. Relax your shoulders if they've risen up. And we're going to bring, it doesn't matter which hand, but bring one of the place of the thumb and the pointer finger, bring that to the third finger on the other hand. So you're connecting your two hands. So first we're in the Mudra of Wisdom, Jnana Mudra. You can just do little bird beaks, and then let one of those bird beaks touch the third finger. And bring your hands downwards towards your belly. And just let them rest in front of your abdomen comfortably. This is Dharma Chakra Mudra. And this mudra allows us to open our chest. Expansive, deep breathing. This can bring benefits to the heart and lungs. And it balances our inner and outer aspects of our life, the spiritual and the worldly. Think of Dharma Chakra Mudra as a window that unlocks the veil of duality. Let your breath flow. And notice how you feel. And I'll share a brief reading by a female artist in New York whose name is Paige Bradley. From the moment we're born, the world tends to have a box already built for us to fit inside. Our umbilical cord never seems to be severed. We only find new needs to fill. If we disconnected and severed our attachments, would we shatter our confinements and expand beyond our shell? Would the world look different? Would we recognize ourselves? Are we the box that we're inside, and to be authentically uncontained, would we still be able to exist? This is the irony of containment. As long as we don't push on the walls of our surroundings, we may never know how strong we truly are. Breathe here for a moment and let those words wash over you. And if you've been holding the mudra, you can now release it and shake out your fingers and wiggle your shoulders a little bit. And we're going to switch the uncross of your legs in case you have been sitting with them in one position. Bring the other foot to the front. And let's do a little bit of Durga pranayama or three-part breath. We're going to be filling our bellies, our chest, and up to our collarbones, and then emptying from collarbone through chest and back through belly. So you might wish to rub your hands together and warm them up a bit. And you can even place them on your tummy area to feel Durga pranayama fill you. So let's start with softening anything that you're holding on to in your body. If you feel a tightness potentially in your jaws or in your upper back, soften your gaze and start filling up, starting with the belly. So 3 parts. 1, fill your chest. 2, and fill all the way to your collarbone. 3, and now slowly let the breath flow back out, collarbone, chest, and belly. Let's try that again, filling 1, 2, 3. Introducing a pause at the top, and then that release. 3, 2, 1. And once more at your own breath rhythm. And if you're enjoying Durga Pranayama, you can try this again anytime that works well for you. Now we'll start to create a beautiful ball of energy in front of our bellies. So you can shape this ball of energy with your hands. If your hands are cold and again you wish to generate a little warmth, you can do that first. And then start shaping this ball of energy. Can you see the colors of it, or is it a bright white? Can you feel the warmth of your ball of energy? And bring your hands in front of your belly area out to the outside of your ball. And now start to allow that energy to flow inwards towards your own heart center. Right before your hands touch your body, feel that warmth. And now bring your hands upwards and let that beautiful ball of energy flow outwards to all of creation, all the beings on this earth, including the little teeny tiny ones like insects. the furry, the winged. Let that energy just flow upwards and outwards, letting your hands go where they wish. A beautiful source of life. And see if you can bring that ball really large and in front of you and outwards again. Very nice. All the conditions of happiness are here with us now. And if you have a strap or a tie or anything of that nature, you can take that now in your hands. It's not necessary. But we're going to do some shoulder opening as we expand. You might again wish to cross and uncross your legs. So take a moment and get your strap or your tie, bring it in your hands, and lift up over your head. Maybe you feel some creaking. You can move from side to side slightly. And bring your head down a little bit and the shoulders back. And now start to bring your arms over to the right side and feel the opening in your left ribs. Raise your chin up. Maybe your eyes are open or closed. And breathe into your left armpit and down into your ribs. Feel the expansion. And lift up to the sky, and now exhale over to the left, doing the same, but now we're breathing into our right ribs. And if you're tightening in your neck, let your head move around just very gently and slowly. We just want to be cautious about moving our heads too quickly. Your body will tell you with a bit of vertigo if you do that. Breathe and expand into the right ribs. And now up to the sky, and see if you can start to open your shoulders and bring that strap behind you. And maybe pull it in a little closer or release it completely. And if it's in your practice, you can make prayer hands behind your back. Like so. And if this is not in your practice, you can hold on to your strap. Press your shoulders down. Lift your chin and breathe into the sensation in your wrists and your shoulders. And even if this is not in your practice today, you might be able to coax yourself there over time. And now let's release our hands and do some wrist circling motions in either direction. Maybe this becomes a bit dance-like for you. Very, very nice. And we started our practice with facing north. Outstretch your legs. You can have something raising your hips up. We're going to do a series of seated forward folds, and we're going to expand in all directions. So we'll be following the compass around. If you don't know where true north is, you can look it up on your phone. It's fun to know the sense of direction. So point your heels towards north and raise your arms upwards. Deep inhale and fold forward, reaching towards north. Let the back of your head fall ever so slightly. And breathe into the sensation of your body as you warm up the hamstrings, as you awaken them. And let your forehead become heavy and start to come towards your knees. See where you're resisting. And imagine going farther past that possibility. And then notice your body softening, your upper body softening towards the earth. And let's turn now as we raise, and we'll just turn 90 degrees towards the west. And again, extend your toes, straighten your legs and sweep up. And now fold towards the west. Feeling where the base of your body is touching the earth. Where can you expand? And now, as you rise up another 90 degrees, turn towards the south, sweeping up, flexing your feet and folding forward. And each time, noticing the places in your body that are holding tension and seeing if you can soften there. And sweeping up again and turning. Our last and final turn is going to be towards the east. Wherever that is in your space, sweeping up and folding. And noticing this time my fingers are actually grazing my toes, which is very different than the first time that I stretched in this particular asana. Our muscles are awakening. Lengthening and expanding. And now start to rise up, and you can choose any position, any direction that makes sense to your body. So think about where you were facing, and was there one direction that felt really aligned to your body this morning or this evening, wherever you're practicing. Could be your afternoon. And let's open our legs wide to a straddle and sweep our arms up. And then let ourselves fold or twist over to the right. So your right arm is behind your body, and your left hand might be on the outer bit of the right thigh. And sweeping up again and twisting to the left, wringing out. Ooh, that feels good. The tension in your spine, or in your neck. I feel an opening in the upper right shoulder. And you can even bring your hands there for self-massage. Sometimes we don't notice the stiffness or the muscle contraction until we try to expand. Very nice. And let's bring our right leg in to a half straddle. And reach up with the left arm and lean over towards the right. And play around with this. It might feel good to lean over your right hip and look up slightly. Or you might wish to be leaning more forwards. But ask your body what feels the best. And again, we're opening the rib area. And bring your left arm down. Switch your straddle. So right foot tucks in, left foot tucks in and right foot flexes. And now open your arm to the other side. And asking your body, what does it need on this side? Opening through the shoulders, shoulder blades, the ribs. Listening to the body. And now we'll come to child's pose. So if your knees are tender, you can move your blanket so that your knees are still on something soft. And this is a good time to take off socks as we start to move in and out of standing postures shortly. So find your child's pose. Opening your knees wide and letting your big toes kiss underneath your body, and then reaching forward into your Malasana. Forehead finds the earth. Feel the expansion in your hip girdle and all through the upper channels of your back. And maybe it feels good to just roll slightly, very gently on your forehead. Stay here in your child. I'm going to read you something from a book called Perfectly Imperfect by Baron Baptista. Asana practice is a rich opportunity to unearth our thoughts and move forward into a life free of those confirming beliefs. This practice clears out old energy, creating new space. As we go through the flow of poses, things get energetically stirred up, which can be confronting. With experience, we get skillful at allowing the practice to work on us. We hold a space that allows for whatever needs to come up to do so, and we let it go. And let's transition from child into pigeon pose. So you're going to come up on your knees and press your left leg back and be balancing on your finger pads so your hands are flat to the ground. And now bring your right knee forward ever so slightly. And you're going to wiggle your right foot until it comes either to a perpendicular L shape or wherever is comfortable to you. And I should use the word accessible versus comfortable. This is pigeon pose, or half pigeon, is one that can release a lot of strong emotion, and our hips may be holding on to that. So be gentle here. You can put a block or a pillow under your right hip. And if this is not accessible to you for any reason, you can also just stay in child's pose for a little while longer. Enjoy your Malasana. And if you're in pigeon pose and this is accessible and you wish to come down onto forearms, you can do that. Or if you wish to extend your arms and come all the way to your forehead, you can do that too. But see what is best for your body in this moment. And each moment will be different. Be really careful of the left knee. And if you feel like you're clenching anywhere, can you breathe into that place in your body? Can you expand? Three more deep breaths here. Maybe bringing back the Durga pranayama from earlier. Belly, chest, collarbone, belly, collarbone, chest, belly. It's hard to walk and chew gum, and it's hard for me sometimes to breathe and talk. Okay, come back up if you did try pigeon, and gently start to bring the right knee back into a tabletop position and just waggle out or roll out your hips for a moment before we do the other side. Now let's stretch our right leg back. Preparing for pigeon. And we'll start to bring our left knee bent. And now resting with bent leg on the left side, inching your foot closer up towards perpendicular, but your body will tell you what's accessible. And each side of your body is different. And on different days, this will bring up different sensation. So find your version of half pigeon. Either staying upwards or starting to lower down. Into any variation that helps you expand past your perceived boundaries, but also does not bring pain. There should be absolutely no pain in yoga. So if there is, you need to back out of whatever pose you have just tried to come into. And as you breathe into this asana, half pigeon pose, release your ego to do anything more than what your body is okay with in this moment. 2 more deep breaths. And here comes little Sparkle to join us. I'll still call her a kitten, but she is definitely becoming more cat-like. And the good thing, she likes dogs, because now we're going to rise up into downward facing dog. So press your hips back and up. And who would have thought that downward facing dog would feel good? But after half pigeon, this is actually quite a nice release. So let your heels pedal to the earth and look under your left armpit and your right armpit. And open the butterfly wings of your upper back, pressing your chest towards your knees, wiggling out the muscles of your jaw. And now let's start to move anything that we have on our mat space out of the way. So if you had a blanket or your strap, place your strap somewhere that you can reach it. And let's make our way to Uttanasana, or standing forward fold. Feel the expansion in your upper back. Let your fingertips just gently grace the earth. And hang in ragdoll. Let all your worries roll off your back. Right hand touches the earth and left arm opens and expands up to the sky with your breath, inhaling. Nice. And left hand finds the earth and open and expand up to the right. Very nice. Let your hands find the earth and tap along your feet and along your shins. And then find stillness at your knees, maybe massaging in a circle, appreciating with gratitude your knees that hold your body up. And now scoop your spine, letting your nose raise first until you come to Tadasana. Powerful pose. Shoulders come back and hands open wide. Your feet are hip distance beneath your body, which is actually closer together than you probably imagine. But you can have your feet wherever you wish. And find a drishti, a focal point, and soften your gaze. And see if you can expand the boundaries of what you think of you all the way to that spot that you're looking at. So tap into your energetic body. Expand through your feet and your crown. And wherever you are, step your right foot forward into crescent lunge. So crescent lunge is going, our right knee will be bent and our left leg will be straight and back. And let's sweep our arms up. And then let your left foot find the earth and open to warrior two. Gaze is soft over your third finger on that front hand. Your arms are in T. And inhale, reverse. And exhale, bring your hands back. Straighten your front leg. And now tip your hips forward into triangle. And open and expand. Be careful to not try to get too far down. You'll see the farther you go down, now you start to curve the front of your chest, and you actually want to be expanding and opening this whole heart center chest area. So let the right hand come up a bit. And breathe here and let your right arm circle around. Opening the shoulder. And then you can turn and circle the other way. And come to stillness in Trikonasana, triangle pose. Rising back up. Right knee bends. And let the arms cartwheel down to the ground. So we're back now into a low crescent lunge. Hop your left foot forward. And you're standing in forward fold and sweep your arms up. Slight back bend. Hands come down to the earth, down to your heart center, Anjali Mudra. And now let's step our right leg back. So we're in crescent lunge here. Feet are pointing forward. Left knee is bent. Right leg is straight, sweeping up. And let your right foot find the earth. Open to warrior two. Inhaling back to peaceful warrior. And now straightening your front leg and arms come back to T. Hinge forward. And triangle pose now on the other side. Reaching up to the sky. And then letting your right arm circle around 3 times in each direction. Expanding upwards and making a beautiful arch or circle. And then pausing for a moment, rising back up into your warrior. And arms cartwheel down to the ground. Feel the opening in the hips. And pop your right foot forward. Standing forward fold. Halfway lift hands to your shins. Expand through your crown forwards. You're making as close as you can a 90-degree between your legs and then this hinge at the waist and then your upper body. Breathe here and fold. Rising back up. Slight back bend, hands come together at heart center. And step and open. So we're going to find our strap again, if you wish. We have our legs open wide. Raise your strap up over your head, and again, reaching over to the right. and up towards the sky and over to the left. And now let your strap widen slightly so that you can bring it down behind your back and press your shoulders back, opening through the shoulders. These are wonderful exercises as we age because our shoulders will start to round, and so we're going to counteract that. Place your strap down, and again, if accessible, create that prayer behind your back and open your heart forward. See if you can tip your hips ever so slightly. Trusting your body, expanding in all directions. And now sweeping up, and let's flow down to the ground in forward fold, wide-legged. Letting your head relax. Your hands and feet are grounded to the earth. Breathing here. And now bend your knees and bring your hands to the upper thighs so that you can come up. We're going to just do a little movement and expansiveness here. So bend your knees and sweeping up and letting your hands come down. So this is 5-pointed star, but we're gonna just do a little motion here and some strengthening for our quadriceps. Continuing to expand in all directions. Really seating down and grounding, feeling that strength in your legs. And then coming to stillness. Very nice. And you can start to come down into a Malasana posture, whatever squat suits your body. Your heels may or may not be touching the earth, but we'll open that hip girdle and all the muscles in our pelvis. And also, if you press the outer parts of your arms against the inner parts of your legs, you'll feel an expansion in your shoulder blades as well. And let that go. I'm going to do one last posture before coming fully down to the ground. And this one you'll probably want your blanket under your knees for. I'm going to do camel pose. So a couple of more intense poses today, like half pigeon and camel. And please listen to your body. You can take this however far you would like or not at all. So if camel pose is already bringing up some thoughts of inaccessibility for your body, you can take child's posture. On our knees, start to raise your chin if you wish, and maybe this is the extent of it, where you're going to reach back with your right arm and with your left arm. And you could even pause and just touch the opposite calf. Or if you feel like you can go a little further, you can start to actually reach back for your heels. And this is a real trust posture. I'm actually going to remove what I had under my knees. I don't think that's serving me well. I want to be on flat ground. Full extension of camel is your hands are on the backs of your ankles. Your chin is back. You're really in a moment of expansion here. When you come out, please raise one arm up at a time. But you could also just have your hands on your lower back and just be raising back like this. So many variations. And whatever you chose, come out gently. We won't stay there for long. And swing your legs around. You might wish to find your socks and put them back on your feet so that as we start to come down to the ground and our bodies cool off, we can warm up. We're going to do a counter stretch of the lower back now for sure. So come down onto your back, bring your knees into your chest, and hug your arms around your knees, loving what your body can do for you. And roll out any tension that might have arisen in your lower spine. And maybe bring your hands to your knees and just circle your lower back. Circle your knees to release tension in your lower back. Arms out to T. And let your knees fall to the right. And looking over to the left. Keeping both shoulders on the ground. Gaze is soft. Relax the muscles of your jaw. Breathe into the sensation in your left forearm, on your left outer hip. And soften the muscles around your eyes. Knees back to the center. And let them now come to the left, looking over to the right. Deep, nourishing breaths. And your knees can come back to the center, and maybe you wish for a little happy baby or any last asana posture that feels good to your body. And maybe you just wish for stillness. You could take Malasana again. See if you can notice how much you have expanded beyond the initial thoughts in your body, in your spirit. Now, wherever you are, start to prepare for Shavasana. Orienting your body physically, maybe pointing your feet in a new direction. So if you normally point your feet in one way, maybe you choose a different way. Maybe I'll choose towards the west. And place something soft under your knees. A nice warm blanket over your body if it's cool where you are. If it's hot where you are, then you don't need, obviously, the warm stuff. And tuck yourself in and make a really lovely nest. Let your spine melt towards the earth and your hands can be facing by your side, receiving, palms up. Or if you wish to have more body connection, you can bring your hands to your belly. And remember that beautiful ball of energy that you created. And tap into the source of that light, which is actually you. The beautiful gift of you, filled with lightness, expansive possibility. And let your body melt and become one with the earth. And I'll read you a little bit more from Perfectly Imperfect. Asana practice empowers us to experience the joyful free space on the other side of all the disempowering beliefs, what yogis call samadhi. The word samadhi has beautiful depth of meaning. On one level, it means to see through a clear lens. But beyond that, samadhi refers to the space, which is the place from which the yogi observes. In this context, samadhi means everything is resolved. There is no beyond place to arrive to that will make you happier. This is it. Everything, including you, is whole, complete, and lacking nothing. In other words, you have come home. What if instead of coming from disempowering beliefs, you came from samadhi, your true north center, in every pose and danced in the pose from a place of already being at home with it all? You got the joke, and now from samadhi you are free to be in the pose and create whatever you want, in contrast to trying to fix something or to get it right. Imagine how that would be, what you could do, what would be possible for you. Once you get the cosmic joke, you naturally use everything in your life to lighten up rather than adding heaviness to your experience. Being well trained means that living inside the cosmic joke is over. You can catch yourself when the disempowering belief looms up and lighten up to let it go. You can use everything that comes up as a way to bring yourself back to the present moment, just like when you're about to fall out of a balance pose and you catch yourself before you do and recover center. And take a little time now to sit in beautiful stillness and silence, and to feel the expansion that is you. And I will mind the time and let you know when our practice is closing. And start to wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, gently roll over to one side, bringing your hands in Anjali Mudra to your third eye, the place between your brows. And breathe here and let the nutriments of your practice wash over you. And when you're ready, you can start to come back to a seated posture. And I'll close our practice with a beautiful thought from Stephen Hawking. If the rate of expansion 1 second after the Big Bang had been smaller by even 1 part in 100,000 million, it would have recollapsed before it reached its present size. On the other hand, if it had been greater by 1 part in a million, the universe would have expanded too rapidly for stars and planets to form. So as you expand into all the possibilities of you, do this with patience. There's no need to go too fast or too slow. And I'll close our practice with 3 sounds of the bell. Inhaling the beauty that is you. Exhaling with expansiveness. And I thank you deeply for sharing this practice together today, and bow my head to each of you and say namaste.